Hey everybody, today I want to show you my top recommended textbooks for architectural technology or drafting, whatever kind of business you're in that is related to construction or, house design or building design. So first I want to say that on top of these books are the most important books I recommend you purchasing, which is the National Building Code of Canada, or, if you're not from Canada, the National Building Code of the country that you are from. So the National Building Code of Canada comes in two volumes, Volume 1, Volume 2. Volume 1, essentially, in a breakdown, consists more of commercial code, and Volume 2 mostly consists of Part 9, which is mostly residential code. Of course, you will need both of these if you want to do anything either commercial or residential. So these are very important. As you can see, I have bookmarks and tabs, marking specific in certain pages. It has structural calculations, so if you need to size certain joists or whatever, this will allow you to do that. So 100% recommend if you are in the architectural technologist career. You will need these, and always get the most recent version. Never ever cheap out. This is very important. Okay guys, so the next book I want to talk about is Building Construction Illustrated. It is by Ching, and it is the 4th edition. So for this one, it was very helpful in school because it actually talked a lot about details. So for example, for here, it talks about stairs and what everything is and how it's constructed. And as you can see, it actually gets pretty detailed with a lot of the things that you basically need to know. I will say this, as a draftsperson, I really would like to know how the houses are constructed. Obviously, you need to know that in order to draft them and what comes first when you're building a house. So things like these are very helpful to know. So I highly suggest this book. Again, I've not read through all of it, but I have used different pages, sections. It has tons of information, and this is a book that I used quite often in school, so highly recommend this book. The next book I want to talk about isn't as important, but still important. I use certain things out of this technical communication book, the 5th Canadian edition, which it tells you how to write a good resume. It tells you how to give a good handshake. I learned a lot of very important, communication skills in this. During school, a lot of it seemed kind of irrelevant, but looking back, you really do need to, act professional. You need to be professional. And you need to know what to expect when you go out into the industry. So, it teaches you how to write ethically and good grammar. And it sounds like something that you learn in high school. And some of it does actually feel like it. But I have actually kept this book, and I am minimizing everything I own because I think it's important to go back and, teach yourself some of the things that I think would be handy in the industry. So I do recommend this book. And it is by John M. Lennon and Don Klepp. All right, the Handbook of Steel Construction, 10th edition. In my opinion, this was, I think, the most expensive textbook I had to buy for school, and it was a complete waste of money because in the course that I took, the only reason why we learned engineering was to, I guess, understand it and to be able to, I quote, prove engineers wrong. And don't get me wrong, I have proved engineers wrong. I've seen their mistakes and I've pointed them out, and things have been fixed. However, this is a handbook of steel construction. This basically shows you how to size steel beams. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like this book is completely unnecessary for me personally, because if I ever need a steel beam sized, I am going straight to an engineer, 100%. I do not think it is ever a waste of money to spend on an engineer's approval of a foundation or anything structural that you are second guessing yourself, because you cannot put a price on safety. So for example, like I'm keeping it because it was such an expensive book and I cannot sell it, and you know, I'll keep it for a few years, but I will probably be getting rid of this book within the next couple of years, just because I never use it and I would rather just straight up go to an engineer. But hey, I learned engineering. I'm proud of myself. And last but not least, Mechanical and Electrical Equipment for Buildings, the 11th edition. And this is a thick textbook. As you can see, it's kind of worn and dirty. I actually have read this much of it so far, word for word, picture for picture. It doesn't seem like much, but trust me, it is. And of course, I got my awesome bookmark. But it starts off with the design context, and then it moves on to thermal control and illumination, acoustics, you know, things that are important for a building. And it kind of starts from the bottom and it goes up, and it teaches you the process of how to design a building, the proper way to do it, and then how to carry it out. I stopped reading it at the time because I am incredibly busy right now, and also I don't know how much of this information I'm going to retain, and I think it would just be better if I used it as like, okay, noise problems, or you know, like I think I saw something in here about solar panels, and right now I am actually doing a project with solar panels, so I would probably prefer to just, you know, flip to that page instead of reading this entire book. I wish that I could remember every single word in this book. I am not a robot and I cannot remember that, but it is a relatively helpful book. It tells you a lot. I think this seemed a little bit outdated for well, I don't remember when this one actually came out, but I can tell you, I think that says copyright 2010. Does that mean that's when this came out? It's already 9 years old, so I'm sure if they had any updated versions that I would recommend for sure. Again, I'm not going to get rid of this. It's still very helpful, past information versus present. Like, it gives you like a rough idea, drainage fixture units, and then it gives you a rough, like for a sink, it tells you like a rough number. So I recommend that book. So thank you guys for watching my video on books that I recommend for architectural technologists or something similar. If you have any questions about a course that you might be taking, or what it's like in real life to have that kind of a job, or you know, anything like that, please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Bye.